comes to Trinity Health Stadium as Hartford Athletic hosts Loudoun United. Good evening, everybody. Along with my broadcast partner, Mark Donaldson, I'm Joe D'Ambrosio. Mark, better last week against Charleston, but the season-long problem of putting the ball in the back of the net continued.
It is, but it was a better formation last week. It was 3-3-1-3, and up until the change of shape at halftime, Hartford played some of their best stuff. As you say, though, their problem is putting it in the back of the net.
And the only player who put it in the back of the net last week was the kid who hadn't done it before, the rookie out of Yale, T.J. Prestis, with his first professional goal.
Really like this kid. He was the captain of Yale, and he puts his head where others are frightened to put their feet. He's brave. It's a brilliant delivery from Sebastian Anderson. You still need someone on the end of it. He's very proactive, not reactive. And for someone that's just stepped into the USL, having played in the Ivy League, he's been a star so far.
One change in the Hartford starting 11.
And that's Joe Farrell, back from suspension, and they missed him last week, and he comes in for Arturo Dispe.
Now, on the other side, for the second straight week, Hartford will play one of the league's leading goal scorers because Loudoun's Abdelatif Abukura has put 10 balls in the back of the net.
He's outstanding to the extent that those 10 goals that he scored this season have attracted the interest of some of the bigger clubs. There will be Major League Soccer representation. At least 2 scouts were here tonight to watch him play. One change made by Ryan Martin. Ben Mines comes in for Moses Nyman. Watch out for Abukura, but also ding the line. They're up in third.
Loudoun won down in Virginia 2-0 on April 5th. They've won 4 straight in this series. Maybe the best weather night of the year. We'll come back and kick things off next here in Hartford on ESPN+.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized health care that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
The Great Fire of 1835 forced most insurance companies to close, but not us. The day our founders pitched in to pay every claim is the day the Hartford became the Hartford.
At Lux Bond & Green, we have been designing and crafting custom jewelry for decades. It's an art as much as a science, and really there's no room for error. It comes down to 100 little choices made by our own artists and experts who listen to you and create your perfect engagement ring by hand. Quality, value, and selection. Lux Bond & Green Jewelers throughout Connecticut and Massachusetts.
Hartford Athletic would like to thank the Mandel JCC of Greater Hartford, the official fitness center of Hartford Athletic. Visit mandeljcc.org to learn more. Last Fly is the leader in airport parking at Bradley International. Save 20% by pre-booking on lastfly.com. Last Fly is a proud sponsor of Hartford Athletic. A perfect night weather-wise, 83 degrees, winds wafting out of the northwest at 9 miles an hour. We've already checked the lineups, brought to you by Liberty Bank. Here's Mark's keys to the game. They are presented by Hoffman.
If we were going into this game on the back of the North Carolina game and produced a similar performance last week, there'd be a lot more concerns. Hartford were good last week up until they got into the opposition box. They've got to be better in front of goal, though, as far as Loudoun is concerned. Just give him the ball. Abukura, he's 20, he's right-footed, he plays on the left, he plays on the right, he scores goals. He's brilliant to watch. Enjoy him in this league while we can.
Our referee tonight, a veteran official in this league, Eligio Araguin, his 8th match of the year. These teams played April 5th in Loudoun. Keegan Tingy and Riley Bedois scored. Hartford lost 2 players to red cards in that match. As you look at the big fella, Anthony Siaha, he's been solid for Hartford in goal this year.
He'll need to be busy tonight. I'm expecting Loudoun to come here and have a go. I think you can get at them at the back. I'm not too convinced by their defence, but from a Hartford perspective that's only scored 10 goals this season, they should have too much for Hartford. However, stranger things have happened.
Loudoun in white, trimmed in black, as Hugo Farou, their keeper, who will be involved in the play all night long, sends it forward. Quickly they go for the box, and there's Joe Farrell back in the lineup after serving the red card suspension. George Scarlett heads it. It'll be corner or throw-in. Time will tell.
It's corner.
Corner kick. So a minute in, we get the first corner kick of the match. Of course, last week, Hartford had 10 corner kicks in the 2-1 loss to Charleston Battery. Loudoun is a team. 23 goals on the season. That is second only to Charleston Battery, as we have a little set two in front of the goal.
Fair bit of height on both sides. Loudoun have sent Learman and Turner forward.
This will be an outswinger from the northeast corner.
Oof.
Headed out, and right away we have a Hartford player down and injured.
Beautiful night for a game of football, and it's this area today, all about sport. Travellers down in Cromwell, the world's best golfers here. It's okay when you're under par in golf. It's not okay when you're under par in football. And Hartford's performances this season on the whole have been under par. There have been good ones, like the first half last week. But I was looking 12 months ago, and Hartford, mid-July, went on a run where they only lost 1 of 11. They need to get that first win from somewhere to build that momentum. I think there'll be goals tonight, Joe, because I think Loudoun will come here, and I think they'll expect to get 3 points, especially with the talent of Abakura. But from a Hartford perspective, you can't keep having home games and not winning them.
Michi Ngalina, who has gone through an injury-riddled year, is the player who is down. The head athletic trainer, Mike Diaz, out on the pitch. This is a Loudoun team that is off to the best start in franchise history after 12 games. A year ago at this time, they were 5-6-1, and when I had a chance to talk to Ryan Martin this week, he said they were in the contention for the playoffs, and things fell apart at the end of the year, and that's been something that was addressed during the entire offseason and the beginning of this year, and now they're third in the table in the East, 3 points behind Charleston, 6 points behind Lou City. As you can see, they're checking Michi Ngalina, and this is a kid, Mark, who's had nothing but problems as far as injuries is concerned thus far this year, which is probably why he's only got 1 goal on the season, and that came from the penalty spot.
Any goal scorer needs a regular run of games and regular chances and regular opportunities to put the ball in the back of the net. But from an injury perspective, if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck whatsoever. So Mike Diaz just making sure he's okay. It's a Loudoun side with the coach of the month in April, Ryan Martin, who only them in Miami finished below Hartford last season. But there was that big fight between Loudoun, Hartford, Birmingham, North Carolina and Pittsburgh for the final couple of playoff spots. I've been really impressed by their improvement this season. They can keep it tight when they want to be, but they score goals as well. None more so than Abdel Abakura.
As they continue to attend to Michi Ngalina, there's Ryan Martin. Only Bob Lilly in Pittsburgh has been at the job more than Ryan Martin. And, you know, it's funny. I did a little research. Most of the coaches in this league, including Brendan Burke on the Hartford sideline, in either their first or second year on the job. So as much transition as you look at Brendan, looking pensive on the bench next to Aaron Wheeler, as much as we talk about this being a transitory league as far as players are concerned, it's similar as far as coaches are concerned.
Yeah, and all credit to them for sticking with Ryan Martin, and they're being rewarded. He's a good coach. He's got his team well organised. They are a very hard-working side, and I love when they have possession of the football. Most of the time, each individual who's got the ball has at least one option. Thankfully, it looks like Mishi will be okay. The attendance tonight is fantastic.
Yeah.
There's kids, families, everybody is here. This is one of the best attendances we've had in the league this season here in Hartford.
Trinity Health of New England, proud to be the official medical provider and title partner of Hartford Athletic. Always committed to providing the best health care experience every day for every patient. Trinity Health of New England, we see all of you. So Michi will have to come out. For now, for a moment, and this will add about 4 minutes of stoppage time at least.
Yeah, we've just done 4 minutes of commentary with no action. So that's about 60% of the notes are used up inside 6 minutes. And
so Mark will be reading from
scriptures.
English literature.
Indeed.
So playback on. Siaha gets it going. Kyle Edwards again in the starting lineup. Kyle Edwards has probably been, no, not probably, Kyle Edwards has been the most effective Hartford forward. Well, that ball stayed up in the air for a long time before Loudoun finally controlled it. Taken away. Here's Samadia streaking up the left channel to Jang, and coming off the line, Hugo Faroux.
Good goalkeeping. Really good goalkeeping, but that was good anticipatory skills by Emmanuel Samadia on the left-hand side. It's one thing to get the ball, it's another to deliver it. Really good goalkeeping, good pressure as well on the keeper by Momo Dieng.
15th chance created by Samadia. Only Sebastian Anderson on the other wing has more. Here's Abu Kora. He starts in the midfield, but he finds his way to the box pretty easily. Giveaway by Hartford there, taken by Tommy McCabe. Loudoun 8-3-1 on the season. Just 2-2-1 though in their last 5.
Well, they've lost the last 2 on the road as well, Joe.
Samadia races for the ball. Good tackle. Looks like Ben Mines, the Ridgefield native, is down on the far side, so we'll have another stoppage of play.
So the other 40% of the notes could come in handy here as well.
Ben Mines, who played 6 games with the Red Bulls in MLS, his 5th team in 5 years in championship. So it'll be a throw-in, stolen by Samadia momentarily.
3 players wearing green shirts around Abakura there.
6, the former UConn star Kwame Awuha has had a terrific season. Missed 23 with Achilles injury, and last year it wasn't quite himself, according to Ryan Martin, but is playing very well this season in a back position. There's Giannis Learman, the Frenchman. Plays it up ahead. Here's Florian Vallot. Leads the league in helpers with 6. Now Cole Turner. Hartford pressing. Turner pushes forward on the left. Abukora. Sebastian Anderson with a watchful eye on him. No score. Just the start of things at Trinity Health. Nice through ball to Mines. Towards the box. Abukora couldn't carry it through. Displaced. Good job by the Hartford defense there. And Galena tried to get it to Jang, but Turner had dropped back to knock it away. It's a Loudoun team that's never made the playoffs in their 7th year of existence. And barring a total collapse, you'd think they have to be there this year as Sebastian Anderson. Fouled by Awuha, and Anderson is down.
Yeah, it looked like at first look, he looked like he just left the boot in there. Awuha.
See Anderson holding his left knee. Gives us a chance to tell you that the Hartford is back again and excited to help our team win. From kickoff to extra time, they're proud to share their support for our amazing community. As a founding partner of Hartford Athletic, Visit thehartford.com to learn more.
It's a foul. It's no more than that. Just overstretching. Ball just got away from him. Not a dirty player. And a free kick for Hartford.
So only one other team has committed fewer fouls than Loudoun this year. And as far as Hartford's concerned, they've committed the 6th fewest. Now, the problem is they've gotten the most red cards, and they got 2 of the 5 in the game at Loudoun.
Love that from Momo Dieng. You're not just going to get goals in this league by standing still. You've got to go and make things happen. Ideally, you've got support. He went to make things happen, and Hartford have themselves a throw-in. And as we've seen before from Sebastian Anderson, this one should get to the edge of the 6-yard box.
Joe Farrell and Prestis presenting themselves as target men up front for the long throw from Anderson, who's got 3 assists on the year. Headed back. Hartford will get there first and maintain possession.
Thankfully, Mishi's okay.
Siaha, way out of the goal to facilitate. Looks up front, and it goes keeper to keeper as Hugo Ferrou, the native of France, plays it up.
That's a good ball.
Long ball up ahead. Siaha almost caught in no man's land.
It's all about the area. It's not necessarily a direct pass to a teammate, but it's about an area for a teammate to attack. And it just stopped short of getting inside the box for Siaha. I'd expect 1 or 2 more of them. That's a good ball. That can get the Hartford defense in trouble, that diagonal.
Joe Farrell got his 5th red card of his career in the loss to North Carolina that forced him out of last week's game, but back in the starting 11.
That was an annoying one, Joe, that second yellow. That was just ill discipline. First one was for dissent. Not getting a free kick there when you just play a ball by someone and then jump into them and fall to the ground. Goal kick Hartford. I think both coaches will be pretty happy at what they've seen so far. Loudoun's just a threat. The improvement we've seen in them, they did pick up towards the end of the season, then had 1 or 2 unfortunate results, but already we've seen this season, if they can keep Abukura fit and keep him at the football club, I don't see any reason why they won't be in the playoffs.
First yellow card of the match issued to Ben Mines here in the 12th minute, his 2nd yellow of the year. Let's see the crime here.
0 attempts to play the ball there.
So Hartford restarts. Hartford dominated this series early, but it's been all Loudoun as of late.
I was looking back at the game from last year here. Hartford were on a good run of form. They'd only lost once between July 26th and October 5th. Then Loudoun came here and won by 2-0. They were in the midst of that mid-season form that they're going to have this season if they want to have a shot of getting into the playoffs.
That was their first win ever.
Yeah, it was.
In 10 games here at Trinity Health Stadium.
First time they'd scored here since 2021.
Yeah. Here's Abukura, the Egyptian, speeding up the left side, but Hartford clears it away. Ryan Martin says when last season ended, Abukura went to Dubai, really worked on his training there and his mental health, and has come back a different player. And as you said in the open, there's a giveaway taken by Samadia, but he can't control. Hartford plays it back. Prestis looking to set up. Hartford's got to get Jang and Engalina unlocked. Mamadou Jang has 4 shots on target all year.
They've also got to get Cariaga unlocked. They've got to get him more involved in the game. He can make things happen, but you don't want him as a luxury player. Hartford don't need luxury players when they're bottom of the table.
It was too quiet a game for Samuel Cariaga last week as Hartford retreats, and Farrell will play it all the way on the other side to Siaha. Randy's Worcester Street Pizza, the official pizza of Hartford Athletic. Here's a break up the left side by Samadia. Into the box, drops it back, and it's taken away. As I was saying, Randy's Worcester Street Pizza, the official pizza of Hartford Athletic. Stop by the stadium or visit their other Connecticut locations to enjoy some of the best pizza Connecticut has to offer.
That was really good by Engalina with the little flick there. As long as the front three are on the same wavelength, Hartford has got a chance.
Now Turner comes up. Look at how far Faru and Siaha.
Both goalkeepers do that, don't they?
Yeah, two goalkeepers who like to wander. We saw it hurt Siaha in the Open Cup loss at Portland. Good pressure by Anderson. Forced Tommy McCabe to give it away. Now Cariaga plays it cross. Here's Michi into the box. Farouk comes out and blocks it. Michi from his butt can't get the rebound to go. Hartford keeps pressure on, and a goal! How do you do, Mamadou? And Hartford scores first. And the big crowd roars of approval as Brass Bonanza plays.
This is a lovely goal. And Michi, direct, go for goal. He's unlucky, but he picks himself up off the ground. They still keep going. Maybe the challenge could have been made by Valois. He elected not to do it. That's a brilliant ball and easy for Mamadou at the back post. It's been a long time since we had Brass Bonanza in this stadium for Hartford to get a go-ahead goal. We heard it last week for a consolation, but that was a deserved goal. That was a lovely move from Hartford.
Only the third time this season that Hartford has scored first, and Athletic takes the 1-0 lead. And you're right, great effort by Michi Engalina, and his ability to flick the ball on net from his back in front of the goal made Faru make the save and enabled Hartford to jump on the rebound as the Hartford flag waves in the breeze. Loudoun trying to answer right back.
But the pass to Engalina, and then the psychological, okay, just go for goal, not worry about what I'm going to do or whatever. Take it in, have a shot. Okay, it's saved, it's blocked, but the follow-up is scored after a brilliant chip. Now Hartford have got some defending to do.
Emmanuel Samadia, who you'll hear from at halftime with his second assist of the season. Hartford tries to clear, and they do. Here's Mamadou. Plays it up on the right. Nice ball to a streaking Kyle Edwards. Sends it towards goal, and Faru makes it. But I like the aggressive nature of Hartford in the front three.
I was watching their game last week against Detroit, and they lost the opening goal, and it was a transitional goal because Keegan Tingey got caught too far upfield, which isn't an issue when they've got the ball because he can score goals. He's done it in the last two meetings between these two sides. But when they lose possession, there are spaces, but you have to attack at pace. That's what Hartford have done, and done well so far.
Hartford continuing to press. Boy, Jang made it difficult for Faru to get the ball back into play, and Hartford steals it. So the goal is Jang from Samadia in the 16th minute. Hartford 1-1 this year when they score first. It's a small sample size. Here's Cariaga.
He's offside.
And the offside flag is up. Crowd does not realize it. And Brendan Burke is going to march up the line and have a word with the linesman on this side.
Okay, I'll give Brendan Burke a piece of advice here for his blood pressure. Go and sit down because it's clear. It's 3 or 4 yards offside. It was right in line with that one. I love the passion. No issue with that whatsoever. But it's clearly offside on the far side. We're lucky that we're right in line with that one. That's from our camera on the halfway line. But again, it's Hartford coming forward and causing problems. Brendan will be happy with that.
Here's a Wuha. Pass deflected.
This is kind of similar, Joe, to last week in the first half. The difference being when Hartford have been on top, they've capitalised. This is the same intensity that they played with in the first half last week.
Now Abukura had a brace last week in the 3-2 win over Detroit, who's here next Saturday for a Jägermeister Cup game. Played through. Joe Farrell in the middle. Sends it to Hairston. Now Edwards plays it up ahead to Jang. Here's Mamadou. Sends it across. Shot blocked. Samadia gathers the rebound and sends it wide. Boy, Hartford could be up 3-0 in this game.
Flying. Absolutely flying. It's outstanding by Dieng. And his first touch maybe slows it down a little bit. Just that one there. So you know what? He thinks, right, where's my teammate? It's Michi. It's the perfect ball. And Michi knows he needs to work on his finishing. Hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt Hartford. That's a really good chance that doesn't get taken by Michi and Galina. But it's a brilliant move from Hartford again.
Played up in the middle. Riley Bidois had the stoppage time goal in Segra Field to finish off the 2-0 win. Played out. Second corner of the match for Loudoun here in the 21st minute.
He just needs to go, Michi, doesn't he?
Well, he's played. He's looking, and consider he took a hard knock in that first minute.
He did.
He's played freer, it seems, than he has all year.
Just for his confidence. Put the ball in the back of the net. Watch him soar.
Once again from the northeast corner of a jam-packed Trinity Health Stadium. Good ball. And we got a foul in the box, so Hartford will gain possession. Hartford Athletic would like to thank Nuova Pasta for supporting our Goals for Meals program. For every Hartford Athletic goal scored this year, Nuova Pasta will donate meals to help the fight against food insecurity in our community. Jody Ambrosio, Mark Donaldson, your presenters. Isn't that a European term? Presenters? Do you like that?
Commentator,
all right.
and analyst.
All right. Yeah, because presenters are more people at the desk.
Yeah.
We have a desk in front of us, but we're
indeed.
commentating.
And now the weather.
Please. That would be Murphy's area of expertise. 1-0 Hartford on the Jang goal. Boy, most of this first half is played in the Hartford offensive end, although they turn it over there. Here's Loudoun on the attack. Push from behind. That's going to get called every time.
Stupid.
And that's going to be a potential for a dangerous set piece.
Why would you do that? You've got a teammate right beside you. There's no need whatsoever. You should know that Hairston's right there. That is totally unnecessary from Michi and Galina. So if Loudoun end up scoring from this, you've gone from a situation where Michi should really be scoring to put Hartford 2-0 up and potentially may have conceded the free kick that he didn't need to, that Loudoun might get back on level terms. It's little things like that that can swing games.
It's Abakura over the ball to the left of Anthony Siaha, who's guarding the near post. We mentioned Tingy can score from the back line. So too can Kwame Awuha pushing up. See what Abakura has up his sleeve here. Tip, nice save. Siaha was ready. Well done set piece, and then Siaha gets pushed, and that's a yellow card. Boy, Siaha just felt him in the vicinity and started to go down.
All right, two things. One, if Michi and Galina's stupid for his challenge, that's daft. And two, I really hope Siaha doesn't take up boxing. Because if he goes down from contact like this, he's got no career in the ring. It's unnecessary. It's daft. And it's a free kick.
Learman with the yellow, his third of the year. That was almost humorous.
I mean, Siaha's 6'6". It's snowing up there for him.
Played into the box. Here's Jay. Gets taken down.
They're speaking to each other. Wow. He's given a corner.
Brendan Burke not happy with the no call. Jang looks to be in great pain down in the box.
I need a replay of this one because there was a good 5 seconds where the referee, Alejo Araguin, and Jacob Little, his assistant, were conversing with each other. How much of the ball has the goalkeeper got here, if at all? And there's your answer. None. That should be a penalty kick.
So Jang is still down.
It's a wrong decision. It is no corner. It's either a penalty or a goal kick. There is no contact whatsoever with the ball from the goalkeeper. The contact is with Dieng. Loudoun have got away with that one. That's a mistake. And again, Brendan Burke is not happy with the officiating in this league. He said that on numerous occasions. He has every right not to be happy there. That is a bad call by Alejo Araguin.
Jonathan Look, the fourth official, talking to Burke, who's back down on the bench. And clearly Faroux made no contact with the ball. Here's Anderson. Sends it in the box. Clear it out. Samadia with room to run against Abu Kora. Line drive and fires it over the cage. So that will be a goal kick. Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. Distilled 6 times till it's just right. Tito's known for great vodka, giving back, and doing good for dogs. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Incorporated, Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly. 1-0 Hartford on the Mamadou Dieng goal. Hartford has been the dominant side here. A little bit over anxious that time was Riley Bidwa. Hartford able to convert. Here's Samadia. Sends it in. Dieng gets a chest on it. Carriaga in the box. Oh! Samuel Carriaga with a golden opportunity to make it 2-0. But Hartford continues to fly on the offensive half of the field.
Look at this two ways. Hartford continues to fly on the offensive field. Yes, Hartford cannot miss chances like this.
Here's Abu Kora from distance, right into the midsection of Siaha. If you're Samuel Carriaga, you have got to put that in the back of the net.
Well, you've called off your teammates and I've got this. You've got to have that composure to put it in the back of the net. Engalina should have scored to make it 2-0. They should have had a penalty to make it 3-0. He should have scored there to make it 4-0. The problem is that Hartford have scored 10 goals this season because they're profligate in front of goal and, like we saw with the penalty decision, things aren't going their way with with one or two decisions.
Sorry, Mark, go ahead.
I was going to say, you run out of excuses. You can't keep missing chances like that. If Hartford don't win this game, they've only got themselves to blame.
Here's Carriaga, romping up the right side. Drops back. Anderson leaves for the playmaker, Carriaga. Anderson's got Edwards on the right. Sends it towards goal. Faroux just punched it out. Didn't try to grab it, just punched it out. 8th shot by Hartford tonight, their 4th on target.
They've been excellent. They really have, up until they get inside
Final
the box.
Third. Yep. Now with space, here's a Wuha. Loudoun playing without 3 players. All of them have been out for a while. Wesley Leggett, who's done well against Hartford, missing his 4th straight game. The veteran Pedro Santos and Jake Erlinson all out for their 7th straight game. Now a Wuha, 2-time All-AAC player when he played for UConn. Canadian. Hartford really effectively pressing.
They've been really good.
Back line.
100% they have.
Joust in midfield. Hartford comes up with it. Then a push by Loudoun. Hartford forcing Loudoun to become undisciplined at times here tonight. Hartford Athletic would like to thank Lux Bond and Green Jewelers since 1898, celebrating life's special moments. By the way, how was Father's Day in the Donaldson household?
It was okay. It was okay. I lost my dad earlier this year, so
Yes.
it was
Little
twins.
bittersweet.
It was, but I had my 7-year-old daughter there too, and I was commentating in the afternoon for ESPN, so I was kept busy. But thank you for asking, and I hope everyone out there who are daddies had a lovely time. There's going to be a water break, or an opportunity for a water break while there's an injury here. Look, Brendan Burke cannot, apart from the chances being missed, can have no complaints so far about his players following his message to a T. They have been outstanding. They have pressed in the right areas. They've made the right decisions to cross the ball, to find the player in space. When you get these opportunities, you practice all week on your finishing, but if you can't do it on a match day, there'll come a time where Hartford will probably have 4 chances and score 4 goals. Today, they've maybe had 5 chances already, and they've only put 1 on the board. It's a confidence thing. And when you don't take those chances and you're up against a talented team that include a very talented Abakura, there's always that thought in the back of your mind, they could hit us, they could sting us, they could equalise, they could do that. When you're 2 or 3 goals up, that alleviates all that. It's about putting the ball in the back of the net. But give me a team that's creating and missing chances over a team that's creating nothing.
Loudoun in the Loudoun light kits. You watch Tommy McCabe come off momentarily, talk to the well-dressed Ryan Martin. Hartford in the Fortress Green. 1-0 Hartford on the Jag goal from Samadia in the 16th minute. Hartford a 7-1 advantage in shots. It's not often that we've said that this year.
There's also something about a huge crowd in attendance and performing in front of them, because the last thing you want is a North Carolina at-home performance that they put in a couple of weeks ago, because the fans are like, really, is this it? But tonight, they have been on it from the beginning.
Hartford pressing everybody forward. Siaha almost touching the center circle at midfield. Joe Farrell, Jordan Scarlett up there as well. Sent in, right to the keeper. Easy play for the veteran from Cannes, Hugo Farou. You've been to the Cannes Film Festival, I know, a couple of times.
I've been to Cannes. My sister studied there. What a beautiful part of the world.
Oh, really? Okay. What did she study?
What did she study? Business management, I believe, and languages. Too smart for me.
No, come on.
I struggle with English.
Scholarly Mark Donaldson. Here's a Wuha pressing up. Gets it back to McCabe. Abukura's been kept under wraps, but he can cut it loose at any time. That is simple play made by Siaha. Tonight's match presented by M&T Bank. At M&T Bank, they believe in the power of together. Together, we can move communications forward while giving back. Together, we can help families and businesses spend more time on what matters most. And together, we can achieve more than ever before. Learn more at mtbank.com/together. We can. Stolen again by Hartford. Cariaga more active in this match so far.
100%.
Edwards can't control, but there's the omnipresent Sebastian Anderson.
Everybody's played their part. That's why Hartford has produced this performance so far. But now they need a second goal.
Played in the middle. Headed towards the box. Farou, who comes in with a 1.08 goals against average. 13 goals. Now 14 goals allowed. Coming in 28 saves on the season.
I was looking at my notes from last week against Charleston Battery. My first Hartford note for an attempt on goal was the 80th minute when Preston scored. Today, I've already got 5 notes for Hartford when they could have scored.
Loudoun with some rare space in the middle of the pitch. There's Florian Vallot. Another one of the Frenchmen on this squad. Wide open on the left, pressing up a Wuha. Takes it to the middle, but Marlon Hairston comes back to play it away. Retaken by Vallot. Awuha drops it back. Tommy McCabe, the veteran. Now Awuha. This is a team that retained 91% of their players from a year ago. That's a big total in this league.
Especially when they finished where they did,
right,
in the 11th.
But it was that every part of the season up until that last 4 or 5 games where they showed progress. Good throwing. Edwards.
Wide left.
To Cariaga. Ball on the left. Samadia streaking. Manny puts it in. Too far. The header. And a goal! And it's 2-0 Hartford. And it's Kyle Edwards.
It's brilliant. And they can appeal for offside all they want. They are appealing for the man on the line who's offside, who never touched the ball, and now he's disallowed the goal. They have disallowed the goal because they believe there was a touch by the player on the line. At first look, I didn't think there was. So, 2 huge decisions. Here's the replay. Watch for the touch on the line. It's spread wide by Cariaga. Once the header comes in from Kyle Edwards, watch the player on the line who tries to get out of the way. Does the ball move?
Marlon Hairston pleading to referee Eligio Adeguin.
This might give us a better look. It's simple here. If Dieng touches the ball, he's offside. Did Dieng touch the ball? I have to say, it does look like there might be some touch. The other thing is the ball already over the line? Dieng's in an offside position. That's now confirmed there. Now watch the ball. Cut off too soon. So I don't think the ball is already over the line, and it did look like there might have been a touch. It's two huge calls from the assistant and the referee. He's done his best to get out the way of that. It's not like he's tried to follow it in, but any touch for him, and he's offside, and it looked like there might have been a touch.
A dominant first 35 minutes for Hartford Athletic, but still just the 1-0 advantage. When it comes to your health, you deserve the best. At St. Francis Hospital, they're proud to provide nationally recognized health care with a patient-centered approach, from cutting-edge treatments to personalized care plans. Learn more. We see all of you. Visit trinityhealthofnewengland.com to learn more. Well, it had been a quiet start to the night on the bench for Hartford head coach Brendan Burke, but that's ended in the last 10 minutes or so. As once again, another Hartford player is down and injured, and this time it's Samadia, who we'll hear from at halftime.
We can only go on the replay that we saw, because it's clear there. There's no subjectivity. Did he touch the ball before it went in, or didn't he? And one of the replays, it looks like there was a touch. And if that's the case, then the referee and the assistant have done their job, and they've made a brilliant call. But was there a touch?
1-0 as the Edwards goal disallowed in the 34th minute. Shots are now 8-1 in Hartford's favor. Sent towards the box. Farouk comes out. He's contacted.
That's never a foul.
Cleared out of there, and the crowd becoming a little bit dismayed at the performance of Mr. Adeguin in the yellow jersey.
When you come that far, and you're not fouled, you don't get a foul because you end up on the deck.
If you're Ryan Martin on the other side, what do you do to try to turn the tide here?
I'd go longer. I'd go in behind, because Hartford have pushed all the way up to the halfway line, so there's space in behind.
And the other thing Hartford's doing, Mark, they're winning every 50-50 ball.
And that's something that Loudoun have to be better at. They've got to be battling.
Cariaga on goal, and a diving save by Farouk.
Right now, the way this game, if this game continues the way it's going, it's a case of how many for Hartford. But I don't think Loudoun can play as badly as this, because they'll get a kick up the backside at halftime from their coach, because they've fought, but they haven't fought hard enough.
Errant pass by Valo. Hartford in the midst of a 6-game winless streak. This is the second worst 11-game start in franchise history. Only in the expansion year in 2019 did Athletic have a worse record after 11 games, but it doesn't look that way tonight. Nice move by Anderson up the west sideline. Cuts to the middle, looking for space. Drops back to Scarlett. Samadi has been very active in the first 37 minutes. Now Engalina. To drop to Anderson, who moved from right to left. Samadia sends it in, cleared out by Giannis Learman. But a good press by Scarlett, but Jordan called for the foul.
It's good from Scarlett. I know he's committed the infringement, but the last thing you can afford to happen there is that you get turned by your opponent, because then you've got a 3-on-3 and you're in trouble because Scarlett's back there. So even though the free kick's been conceded, that was really good from Scarlett. Isn't it nice that all the supporters are back here and harmonious?
Wonderful. It's a great crowd tonight. That was captain-on-captain crowd. Scarlett against Zach Ryan, who's had success in his career against Hartford. Had a brace last year on July 3rd at Segra Field. Looked for a through ball. Hartford wouldn't allow it. Prestis. Discretion being the better part of valor. Sends it into the stands on the near side. We've played into the 40th minute here. And easily the best 40 minutes of the season for the boys in green.
The next time you see a Loudoun player inside the Hartford half in possession, count how many seconds they have possession for without someone from Hartford being in close proximity. Because right now, that's the secret to Hartford's success in this first half.
You know, when we talked to Brendan Burke yesterday, he talked about the wideouts having to be more into the play against Loudoun, and certainly Samadia and to a lesser degree Anderson have done that. Into the box for Jang, never gets through to him.
Michi's done well there.
Kept in by Scarlett.
He did very well.
Hartford's so much more aggressive. Carriaga creating in the middle. Sends it left, and Galena's had her knocked down. Samadia recovers. The chip headed out by Learman. Now a shot by
handball
Carriaga.
penalty.
It's a handball, and it's going to be a penalty kick for Hartford. And Brendan Burke waving to the crowd.
No complaints whatsoever. And someone with his hands on his head was Keegan Tingy.
Let's see who takes it for Hartford. It'll probably be Galena.
Okay, here's Carriaga's effort. And the handball is inside the box, and it's one of the first players in close proximity to the shot from Carriaga.
And it's not going to be Michi, it's going to be Kyle Edwards, who has been successful in his career from the spot. Looking to put up Hartford up 2-0 here in the 42nd minute.
Goalkeeper
Now
Hugo Farou is doing everything he can just to take his time and to put Kyle Edwards off.
And he has stopped both penalty shots against them this year.
Take it away, Joseph.
Edwards trying to give Hartford a 2-0 lead. Looking for his fourth marker of the year. And he does! Kyle Edwards!
Hold on. The referee.
They're going to wave it off. Let's see what the call is.
The referee, what is he up to now? It's going to be a retake.
Hartford went over the 18-yard line too soon. So Edwards will have to do it again. Now, if you're Edwards,
we need a wide shot of this. That's not the angle we need. If we can get a wide shot, I think the encroachment may be inside the D, not even necessarily inside the 18-yard box.
Now, if you're Edwards, do you change your angle here?
Let's find out. Is there encroachment? Yes, there is. It's Michi. What is he doing? Honestly, what are you doing? Michi and Galena. Referee spot on. That's a great spot by the officials. You cannot be inside the D or encroach in the 18-yard box. Take two. Kyle Edwards.
Do you shoot for a different spot? We will see. Edwards with a retake. Looking for 2-0. And he scores! No question about that one. Kyle Edwards. His team-leading fourth goal of the year. It's Hartford 2-0.
Why do things the easy way, Hartford Athletic, when you can do things the hard way? Your answer to your question, does he go the same way? He does. Keeper this time is flummoxed.
Flat-footed.
More than Hartford deserve. And it could be more. But they had to get that second goal.
Beautifully placed shot by Kyle Edwards for a 2-0 Hartford lead. And Hartford Athletic would like to thank our founding partner, Travelers. Thanks to Travelers, presenting partner of our community ticket program. Children from underserved communities throughout Greater Hartford are able to come to the matches free of charge. Well, we are going to have a boatload of stoppage time.
And highlights at halftime for the first time in weeks.
You'll be tired from narrating them all. Confirmed now, Brignell Vineyard stoppage time, 6 minutes. Not as much as I thought.
Well, there were 4 minutes.
With the injury to Michi early on.
Inside a minute and a half, yeah. Now, what does Ryan Martin do at halftime? Because he's got to do something. Because his team they haven't even been second best at times in this game. Every single player in a green jersey has won his battle against every single player in a white jersey. That's unacceptable from a Loudoun perspective.
One thing I think was we'll see Moses Nyman will come in. He's got a goal on the season.
Well, he also...
Here's Abdul Kura, Mark, streaking up the left side. He'll run onto it along the left sideline. Sends it into the box. It's cleared in front. Can't settle it. Here's a shot, chipped over the goal. 6 minutes of Brignell Vineyard stoppage time. Well, that's not what you were looking for if you were Athletic there, for them to have the quick counter.
No, but they remain a threat. There's no way that Loudoun can play like this again in the second half, and Brendan Burke will be well aware of that. This is a team that's third in the league for a reason. They can score goals. Give the ball to Abakura. Get it forward quicker. And now there's no point in bringing on a defensive midfielder. Give them some support for Zach Ryan, for Riley Bidwa. We have hardly seen anything of Ben Mines since he was booked in the 12th minute. That might be something they look at.
That's why I think Nyman comes in.
Yeah, I mean, Nyman last week kind of played he played alongside McCabe at times. I think they need another forward.
Well, their numbers are compromised. Here's Hartford into the box again. Sent through, nobody there.
Jang was there and he didn't get enough on it.
Goal kick.
I didn't think that was possible to get a touch on that ball and it not to end up in the back of the net from Momo Dieng. But again, using the width, get it wide, get it in. They did.
Hartford with 11 shots. That's the third most in a game this season. They had 16 last week against Charleston. They had 18 in a match earlier this year. And coming into today, Hartford had only 5 first-half goals on the season. Loudoun trying to cut the margin in half before they go to the locker room at intermission. Once again, Hartford, this is a night where all 11 Hartford players have played well. Velo,
10.
Taken off the ball.
Because Siaha's had nothing to do.
I was just going to say that. Now Jang. Momo slipped a little bit.
That's
Got it back.
That's a yellow card.
Samadia gets spun. Referee reaches into his pocket, and Cole Turner gets booked. Here in the 48th minute.
They've not been able to handle Hartford. I don't think they were expecting that because, do you know what? To be honest, we weren't expecting this from Hartford.
And we see them all the time.
We see them every single week. This tells me a lot about players playing for each other, playing for the coaching staff. And they needed that second goal. They've got it. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination this game is over because I fully expect Loudoun to trouble Siaha in the second half. They're going to need more goals, Hartford.
Anderson. Hartford can't get ahead on it. It'll be a throw-in. Anderson will take his time and jog over there to take it. We have 5 minutes into the at least 6 minutes of stoppage time. So Jang from Samadia and Edwards from the spot. Actually, Edwards scored twice from the spot. Once taken away on a good call by the referee, Eligio Araguin.
By the way, if he'd missed the second time, it's not on Edwards, it's on Ngalina.
Right.
For the ridiculous encroachment.
Anderson will try to make the long throw. Farrell gets the header on it. And it'll be another corner for Hartford as time winding down here in half number 1. We are already into the 49th minute.
Birmingham came here, and they were the only team that left with no points. That's Hartford's only home win in the USL this season. This performance is miles better than anything they've produced this season.
Well, it's one of the best we've seen in our 3 years of doing the commentating together. Samadia will trigger from the southeast corner. Headed. Samadia will get there first.
And get gone out before it came back in. That's why it's a goal kick.
So that will probably be the last play of the first half. Maybe they get one chance, Loudoun, to advance the ball. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We have at least a minute left. My bad. Hartford continues to play aggressively on both ends of the pitch tonight. It's been really as good an all-round team effort as Hartford has had in a couple of years.
Well, when you put across your social media, Fortress Hartford, defend Fortress Hartford, you want fighters. You want a team in green that are going to battle for absolutely everything. And that's exactly what they've done tonight. Now, can they keep this up for 90 minutes? Because this...
They've expended a lot of energy in the first 45
this
plus.
isn't... Yeah, this has been tough.
Played up ahead. Taken away by Hartford. And that'll do it? No, I thought I heard a whistle. Whistle in the stands.
Do you need a bathroom or something?
No.
I'm desperate to get out of here.
Played across the field. There's Cole Turner with room. Tries to play it up ahead. Play to a Wuha. Gets it back. Out of the box. Cariaga tries to find a streaking Jang.
Play over the top. There's so much room to run into.
McCabe into the middle. Bukura, it's blocked. McCabe can't get a boot on it, commits the foul. So Hartford will have the restart as we are into the 7th minute of stoppage time.
So from Brendan Burke's perspective, I'm never a fan of saying more of the same, boys and girls.
And now we have reached halftime.
See, it's $2 beer night. I knew there was a
I'm
reason.
more interested in the $1 hot dogs than the $2 beers. I'll be bluntly honest with you.
How good was that from Hartford?
A brilliant first half by the team in green. Hartford, a dominant performance. They go to the locker room on goals by Mamadou Jang and Kyle Edwards, leading Loudoun 2-0. Our halftime activities are next, right here on ESPN Plus, MyTV9, and WTNH.com.
If anyone thinks cancer is going to define you, they've got another thing coming. We know you are more than someone healing their heart. At Trinity Health, we know the importance of seeing the person behind the patient, the fear, the joy, the journey. Bringing you the expert medical teams and state-of-the-art technological advancements of a national health system, along with the personalized care that helps you feel better. Because we see all of you.
The Great Fire of 1835 forced most insurance companies to close, but not us. The day our founders pitched in to pay every claim is the day the Hartford became the Hartford.
Two 2-0 Hartford, and it's been a highlight-filled half for the team in green.
There was a little step there by Momo Dieng, who knew that he had to get back on side after Mishi's shot was saved. Then when he gets on the deck, Momo then decides, right, I need to get back just in case I can get on the end of a cross. Bang, Samadia, outstanding, 1-0.
Watch it again in slow motion. Jang gets inside, or this will be...
Now this is a Cariaga shot that ends up with a handball.
Right.
And look, the arm is up, the arm is out. It's a penalty. That was his second attempt. The first attempt was also scored. Just keeper got something on it. But Mishi and Galina had encroached into the D, which you're not allowed to be in. Stupid, but they got away with it. It's 2. It could be a lot more for Hartford.
Yeah, it could be 4 or 5. As you look at the totals, Hartford 11 shots, 5 on target. That possession number, you can take that throw that out the window.
Yeah, okay.
That's meaningless. We'll come back. We'll look at the team of the week. Mark's conversation with Emmanuel Samaria and USL News and Notes. 2-0. Hartford leads Loudoun at halftime. Here.
Wait, come back. Wait, come back. I need more help.
Take a load off it. Take a load for free.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Stay 3 nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 off a future stay.
Who wants that smoke? You want that smoke? Look, I ain't playing, I'm saying this ain't a joke. There ain't no bluffing, I'm calling you out for show. It's either all in or nothing, I go for broke. Who wants that smoke?
How does Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water keep you in the game? We always source our water directly from the natural spring to fuel every body, no matter how you like to move it. So whether you're chasing your goals or just staying active this summer, make sure to stay hydrated with Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Always bottled at the natural spring source.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Focus! Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Whatever it takes. Trusted for over 100 years. Tiger Balm's proven herbal blend tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger so that you can rise above pain. Let's make a Karate Kid. And get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized healthcare that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
As Leo lays this off. Rodriguez, oh, it goes in! Nigro clips it in for Rodriguez, who scores again!
This one's layered forward for Goodrum, and Goodrum takes the lead. This is blocked. Good defensive work, and Goodrum knocks it home. A first-half brace for Philip Goodrum. Davila delivers. Point blank, it's knocked home. It's a hat trick.
No, Darce into the penalty area, he goes down. Referee says yes, it's a penalty. Maxi Rodriguez wins it and christens Centerville Bank Stadium with their first win.
And now here's the rest of the Week 15 USL Team of the Week. All right, let's take a look at news and notes. Atletico Dallas will go to a historic venue in 2027. Louisville with a tough battle coming up against Aston Villa. And Louisville City FC, they're on a heater. No question about it. It's been a good second season in Hartford for Emmanuel Samaria. He visited earlier with our Mark Donaldson.
I know that you're from Sierra Leone, but from an African soccer perspective, how big was it when Senegal beat England to become the first African side to do that against the English recently?
I think it's very great for Africans, and I believe we have the talent. You know, we just need like the belief and to show it on the big stage. You know.
What about the World Cup qualifying right now? Because you're still very much in it. You've got a decent opportunity, but you've had to play your home games because your stadium isn't ready in other countries. Does that make what you've achieved so far even better?
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult for us because, you know, playing away from home, You know, although Liberia is, you know, is part of Sierra Leone because it's so close to Sierra Leone, but playing our qualifying games in Freetown in Sierra Leone could have been much more better, you know, with the fans, you know, and they're gonna push us. But we still get chance because we have 2 games coming up in September, and hopefully we can get the result and try to be in the spot.
One of them against Burkina Faso. Now, the last time we spoke, you were preparing to play Egypt in Cairo. Prior to doing this interview, I watched the highlights again. You lost narrowly by 1-0, but you had chances. You're up against Mohamed Salah, you're up against Omar Marmoush and others. What does that say about where football in Sierra Leone is right now, that you're not far away from beating these sides with such world-class players?
Yeah, I think for now we have a great you know, coach, Mohamed Kalon, and he's so experienced because he played in higher levels like Inter Milan, Monaco, you know, with his knowledge and idea in the game. I think, you know, we are not far, you know, really.
One of the players in your international side, Kai Kamara, is 40 years old. Would you still like to be playing at that age?
We see about that. Hopefully, I want to continue playing for as much as I can, you know, and the body gonna decide everything.
But when you see what someone like him does, how he keeps himself in shape, what you have to do off the field and the way you have to eat, the way you have to live life, that's a good message to send out to everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Kai Kamara is he's an elder brother to all the younger guys from Sierra Leone, and he's a legend. You know, we're looking up to him, and we are so happy to have him in the group with the national team, because with his experience, ideas, you know, he kept pushing us, and you know, it's good to have him with the group.
All the group winners in Africa qualify for the World Cup, which is here in the United States next year, plus the 4 best runners-up. Now, that's going to be difficult. Do you think you might have to win all your games now, the 4 games you've got left, to maybe be one of the best runners-up?
Yeah, we need to win all 4. You know, that's the motive, that's the aim. We need to win all 4, and we have won against Guinea-Bissau away, and the rest will be in home in Liberia. You know, away from home, but it's still our home. So we're gonna try to win games by games, and we see.
Do you see similarities with Hartford's season right now compared with last year, and that you started to go on a run in the summertime and it nearly took you to the playoffs?
Yeah, I think last season and this season, like, we started a little bit difficult last season, same like this, and we just get the momentum, you know, at the second half of the season, and we start, you know, winning, and I still believe in this group, and there's a lot of young players, a lot of talents. You know, we just need that one click, you know, and start going with the momentum to win games, to turn things around, and I believe we close.
Final question: if I give you a blank bit of paper and you could put yourself in any position on the football field, where would you put yourself?
The left fullback, for sure.
Wing back or fullback?
Maybe it depends on what way you want us to play. If it's 4-3-3 or 3-5-2, you know, so 3-5-2 I'll be a wing back, and 4-3-3 I'll be a left back.
A pleasure. Good to see you again. Thanks, Emmanuel. Thank you.
This week on USL All Access, the table tells us which team on the field has been the best due to points, right? What about coaches? We take a statistical deep dive to see which manager has influenced their team in the games the most within 90 minutes of play. Joe Hafferty, defender from Lexington SC, joins us to talk his unique journey developmentally and how Lexington could be on the rise in the Western Conference.
If anyone thinks cancer is going to define you, they've got another thing coming. We know you are more than someone healing their heart. At Trinity Health, we know the importance of seeing the person behind the patient, the fear, the joy, the journey. Bringing you the expert medical teams and state-of-the-art technological advancements of a national health system, along with the personalized care that helps you feel better. Because we see all of you.
The Great Fire of 1835 forced most insurance companies to close, but not us. The day our founders pitched in to pay every claim is the day the Hartford became the Hartford.
Beautiful look at the Connecticut State Capitol. Our match tonight brought to you by the good folks at LDI Connect. First time this year that Hartford has led at halftime. They had only been equal once. So let's go to the other locker room. If you're Ryan Martin, what do you do to turn things around?
The positive for me would be you cannot perform and produce what you've just done. So the first thing he's going to do is he's going to make a change at halftime. And that change sees Drew Skundrich come on, because it just wasn't working. They were second to every ball. They lost all their individual battles. They weren't giving the ball to Abakura. And the thing is, we spoke about this in the first half. When Abakura had possession of the ball, he was usually triple teamed. That meant there's space elsewhere. By the way, it's not just one change. It's not just two changes. It's a triple change made by Ryan Martin. That tells you everything you need to know. He is not happy at what he's seen in that first half.
Yeah, he's bringing in Bibi Karamoko for just his third match of the season. The aforementioned Drew Skundrich is coming in, and I believe I saw 22.
Yeah, Robbie
Dambrot.
Yep.
Coming in as well. So, as you said, Ryan Martin not a happy camper with his squad in the first 45 minutes. And if you're Hartford, why change anything?
I would start from scratch if I'm Hartford. Forget about that first half. You've shown me what you're capable of doing. But if you think, right, we're 2-0 up, this is comfortable, you're going to get a different performance in the second half from Loudoun. So you have to keep that intensity up. You have to do everything you've done. Don't rest on your laurels if you're Hartford. It's not a case of where it'll just be as easy as it was in the first half. No chance.
Drew Skundrich, the former star at Stanford, replacing Riley Bidwell. Robbie Dambrot replacing Cole Turner. So Hartford obviously staying the same, a dominant first 45 minutes for the team in green.
They've gone to a back three. It looks like Keegan Tingy has come in and playing at right centre back for now. Nope, they're going back to a 4. It just pushed Kwame Awua forward for a spell.
So it will be a long throw in for Sebastian Anderson as we get things started here in the second 45. Jang and Edwards with the goals. Kyle Edwards now in his USL career, 5 for 5 from the penalty spot. Header out, and Joe Farrell's going to get called for the foul. So if you're Hartford, you can't take your foot off the pedal, as you said.
Nope.
But you have to play smart. You can be aggressive without being foolish.
Yeah. I hate this more of the same, because if you do more of the same, and that's what's made the opposition the way they are, they've just changed it. They've made 3 changes. So there's nothing to lose for them now. Robbie Dambrot will play alongside Yanis Learman at the back. It's start from scratch again. Give me the performance that you gave me in the first half, but give me a better performance like that. See all those chances you had? Start taking more of those opportunities. Pat yourself on the back when you get all 3 points. Half-time, we've seen them be 3-1 up against last week's opponents, Charleston, and lose a game 4-3 in the final minute. Until that final whistle goes, that's when you get the plaudits, not at half-time.
Hartford had 3 first-half goals in that 4-all draw at Lou City. That's a foul on Zach Ryan as he trucked Marlon Hairston inside the center circle. Hartford looking to end its 6-match winless streak, also looking to end a 4-match losing streak to Loudoun United.
Get rid of all that negativity from the past. head-to-head meetings, haven't won in 4 against... Forget it all. It's about the next 45 minutes. Do your job, get the 3 points, enjoy it. Until then, go and earn them.
So it'll be Anderson right at the tip of the center circle in the middle of the pitch here at Trinity Health Stadium. Hartford going towards the north end here in the second half. Headed down. Samadia gets there. Far post. Put on goal and sent wide. But again, Hartford winning the 50-50 balls and being more aggressive.
Just what Brendan Burke is after. Play the game in their half. When they've got the ball, press them. Have your chances. There's the overlap. 2 of their subs are for players that were yellow carded in the first half. They might not be used to playing as often. Hartford have got to get in their faces. For Loudoun, if you think for a minute that Ryan Martin at halftime has given this game up, no chance. He thinks they can still win this game. Never mind get back into it.
Long ball sent in. Siaha will play it on the hop. For both Karamoko out of New York City and NC State and the veteran Dambrot, just their 3rd matches of the season. They had played each of the last 2 weeks against Charleston and last week in the win against Detroit City, but not significant amounts of time. Here they're being asked to go, in all likelihood, 45 minutes. Scarlett looking for somebody to enter the pass to.
Sorry, Joe, there isn't one single Loudoun player that could complain if they were replaced at halftime after that
even
performance.
Abukura. Now, you're not going to take him out, or Zach Ryan or Velo, as Prestis is called for the foul at midfield. Quick restart. Hartford takes it right away. Taking off the boot of Karaboko. It'll be a Hartford throw-in. Fans, join us for our next home match next Saturday, June 28th. It's 7 o'clock. It's the Jägermeister Cup match against Detroit City. We'll celebrate Junior Fire Marshal Night, presented by the Hartford, and Dylan's birthday. Here's a chance. Ball played up ahead. Here's Ryan. Samaha gets it. Ball is still loose. Sent in front. Cleared. Here's a shot knocked away. Great job by the Hartford defense.
That is Fortress Hartford. But it's also how dangerous Loudoun can be. Keeper was actually slow to begin with and then made up the ground. Siaha. If he can't get it, somebody else can. Jordan Scarlett.
Yep.
And then there, it just wouldn't sit. The pair of them getting in each other's way. And blocked for a corner.
3rd corner of the match for Loudoun. The referee, Helio Arguin, talking to players in the box. One of them being BB Karamoko. 3rd corner, as we said, for Loudoun. High arching, headed, loose, and Hairston with the bicycle out of danger for the time being. One thing Loudoun's got to do is just possess the ball longer. Cleared away by Prestis.
If ever a next goal in a game would prove so vital, it's the next goal in this one. It's a totally different game if Loudoun get it. At 3-0, it should be job done if Hartford get it.
Joe Farrell kind of hits that with the side of his boot. Karamoko beats Hairston for it. Loudoun maintains possession. 2-0 Hartford early in the second half. Ryan Abukura. Shot easily played by Siaha. No harm in that weak attempt.
Wonder how many in attendance and how many watching at home. The first words out of their mouth after the halftime whistle were, "Where's this been all season?"
Exactly. Well, those are our first words. Here's Joe Farrell, plays it back to Scarlett. That back 3 has been impeccable tonight for Hartford, though they really haven't had to do a lot. Here's Scarlett waiting for people to get free. Plays it up in the left channel. Samadia racing for it, and it's played out of bounds by Tingy. Good pressure by your halftime guest, Mr. Samadia.
that's the type of ball you play. You don't give up on it if you're Samaria. You get the defence turned, you get them facing their own goal or the corner flag, you put pressure on them, and you might get yourselves to throw, which Hartford have done. Mix it up. Really good start to the second half. Different from the first half.
Sebastian Anderson comes across the pitch. Somebody on the Loudoun bench isn't happy with Jonathan Luke. Like he had anything to do with it. Farrell heads it over the top of the net. It'll be a goal kick for Loudoun United. Next week they continue in cup play. First they have a midweek match with Lou City.
Yeah, it's a good game.
And then next Saturday, back home at Segra Field, they'll play Charlotte Independence. Hartford once again with possession. They've been relentless. Here, Edwards with a quick turnaround, deflected out. Another corner kick for Hartford.
Joe, look how quick that ball was moved. It wasn't touch, pass, 2 touches, pass. It's pass, it's pass, it's touch, it's shot, it's quickly, it's done that way, and it's ended up with a corner kick.
Third of the night for Athletic. This should be Anderson from the northeast corner. Looking for those targets up front. Headed. Ball is loose. And Prestis allows it to go over the touch line, over the sideline. The touch line last played by Loudoun, so Hartford maintains possession. There has been no more foolhardy status. You look at Ryan Martin.
He's booked Cariaga for time wasting.
Well, the Loudoun bench has been on agreeing about that. His first yellow of his Hartford career. No, Brent Burke talking to Jonathan Luke, who doesn't want to hear it. Do you think Jonathan Luke leaves these games and goes home and knocks down a shooter or two?
Honestly, I'd lie down in a darkened room and hope that my next trip to this neck of the woods isn't for a while. He must have a headache.
Now,
that's
a
for the
yellow
coach.
to Ryan Martin.
No, it's not. It's for the coach.
Right.
It's for the
right.
coach. It's not
Ryan
for no.
Martin.
No, it's not. It's for the coach behind Ryan Martin, who's constantly having a go at this Hartford bench. I don't think that's for Ryan Martin. I think that is for the coach that's alongside him, who we heard for the last 60 minutes constantly going on and on and on.
It's either Victor Lonchuk or Dario Pot.
We'll get confirmation.
Set in, loose, goal! It's 3-0. Hartford Athletic. And it's Kyle Edwards with a brace.
This could be anything now. That defending from Loudoun. It's a flick on from Prestis at the second attempt after the first one is saved. Kyle Edwards at the double, but it's a set play. It's Prestis. He may have been offside. They may have got away with one there, Hartford, but do you know what? After they got done with one in the first half, it's no more than they deserve. And the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat headgear comes out for Kyle Edwards.
His fourth USL brace for the native of St. Vincent and Grenadines. And it's 3-0, and yet it's a very, very happy bunch of Hartford Athletic players.
I have just
Look at
aged
Joe
myself.
Farrell with the Dream Crazy shirt.
Why have I just mentioned a wrestler from the late 80s?
Now, where did that come from as Hartford gets set to bring Jonathan Jimenez in for Samuel Cariaga?
It's a long way back for Loudoun now, and that is no more than Hartford deserve.
Ricky the Dragon Steam.
He did. He had the headband, the bandana.
There's a lot of people who wore headbands.
I sense, yeah, that's how my mind works. It's the last time we saw a performance like this from a professional sports team in Connecticut.
Eighth appearance of the season for the Norwalk native, Jonathan Jimenez. For Kyle Edwards, his 5th goal of the season. Sebastian Anderson gets his 4th assist of the year.
That was TJ Prestis with a flick.
Yes, I would totally agree. It's been all Hartford. 3-0. Athletic on top. And again, this is a team that you don't want to let up against.
No.
Under any stretch of the imagination.
Like the change from Brendan. Carriaga, bit of a luxury player, can really help you, but you don't need him just now. You're 3-0 up. You need players that are going to contribute defensively more than Carriaga. Hartford have got themselves a free kick. I don't know if they've done one thing wrong this evening, Hartford, and that is something.
Well, other than Michi infringing on the.
But it's all's well that ends well with that. Yes, if they'd missed the second take because of that, then yes. But on the whole, when I say that, I'm talking chance creation.
Right.
Yeah, they should have scored. Michi should have scored. He's had chances, but everything Brendan Burke would have worked on this week with his players, I think has come to fruition. But you know what? Plaudits come at the full-time whistle. 3-0 shouldn't be enough for Hartford.
There's a ball in the box, played back. Abukura trying to load up. He does. It's blocked. Never gets through. Tingy climbs the back of Submadia. Ryan trying to get free. His shot deflected by Scarlett.
He's been a rock this evening.
And Galena over the east or over the west touchline. So Tingy.
Scarlett has just led by example. This is a captain's performance by Jordan Scarlett tonight.
And as we've said all year, he's playing out of position. He's playing left back, which he had never played before.
Well, he's playing left centre back,
Yes.
in a back three. He's a right-footed left centre back, and it's uncomfortable for him. But you know what? He's playing there. He's growing into the position. But as a leader tonight, outstanding.
Skundridge helping create in the middle. Karamoko gets run over. Foul is called. 2 for Edwards, 1 for Jang. A brilliant performance by Hartford.
So far, they've played an hour.
Right.
There's still half an hour to go. If you're Hartford, you want goals 4 and 5. You don't want to concede. If you're Loudoun, you know that if you get it to 3-1, then there's still a chance. You're not at the bottom or close to the bottom of the table in the Eastern Conference if you're not fragile.
Well, they are at the bottom now.
Well,
last week
live league table takes them above Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Yes.
But they're still fragile.
Here's the restart. Siaha glides through the evening and comes down with it. Makes the long throw to start the counter. Here's Hartford on the run. Looking to add to that 3-0 lead. Jang, those long legs. Gets the ball back. Played over on the left to an open Samadia. 1v1. Taken off the ball. Nice work by Karamoko. That one of the few times tonight that Emmanuel Samadia has not been able to do what he wanted. And again, with a team as good as Loudoun, 8-3-1 on the season, you know Brian Martin has instilled in them the sense that we're not giving in. We can score goals. We lead the league in goals with 25, but so far they've been held without it. Here's Tingy. Plays it to Karamoko. Too far for Vallo, and it will be a Hartford goal kick. The Fix is Connecticut's premier standalone IV vitamin therapy boutique, offering customized intravenous vitamin infusions and intramuscular vitamin injections that maximize performance. Answer in the great Power Station team. And a packed house here at Trinity Health.
I wonder how many of these fans in attendance this evening have enjoyed some Travellers golf over the past couple of days, or maybe planning to go this weekend down at Cromwell nearby.
Should be a terrific last 2 days. Here's Edwards. Tried to play a through ball, but headed out of there by Keegan Tingy.
That should be a yellow.
Edwards is going to get booked for that.
You know what, Joe? We spoke about Kyle Edwards with Brendan Burke on Thursday on the back of his first half performance last week when Hartford played a similar formation. His effort in getting back here, granted it's a foul, it's a yellow card, no issue whatsoever with that. But that is what Brendan Burke is looking for. Someone that's going to help. He's going to help at both ends. He'd been in the box just 30 seconds earlier. Granted, the challenge was mistimed and he goes into the book, but he made sure he was getting back.
First yellow on Kyle Edwards, who has 2 of the 3 Hartford goals. Nice steal by Jimenez. Hartford throwing on the far side. Hartford home next Saturday, Jägermeister Cup against Detroit City, who they played a scoreless draw against earlier in the season. Hartford tied for the lead in their group with Rhode Island FC. That's Group 4. Both teams 2-0 in Jägermeister Cup play.
It's a big game, that, next week.
Huge game against Detroit. Brendan Burke has not made any bones about his feeling that doing well in the Jägermeister Cup is important in the development of this franchise.
It's momentum.
Trying to play for a trophy. Something obviously has not happened in Hartford. Here's Jimenez coming back to help out. Anderson looking to make a through ball. That's a nice play on the far side by Loudoun. Now Valo, who's been held in check, looking to create in the middle. 6 assists on the season. Plays it up ahead. Tingy never gets there. Of course it's Samadi. He's been all over the pitch tonight.
Wide right.
And Galena looks to cross it around the field. Gets it back to Prestis, and Joe Farrell in the middle will center.
See, that's really good because there was space wide right. If he could get that ball there, he couldn't. So just take the sting out of it. But again, there is space for Hartford to attack when Loudoun lose possession of the ball, because they will get Tingy forward wherever they can. If they can get it in behind there, a bit like Detroit did for the first goal last week, Hartford could get more chances.
It's been another solid game in the middle too, Mark, for Marley Hairston. He's the best communicator on the team. What a move by Jang. Settles in the corner against Dambrot. Looking to try to force a corner kick. Instead, it'll be a throw-in.
Going to get a double change for Hartford. Obalola and Beverly Makingila will come on shortly.
I would think Makingila will come on. Well, I don't know. I was going to say perhaps for Hairston.
No. You keep Hairston.
We'll see.
I would take Mishi and Galena off. I think he's put in a power of work today. You don't keep someone on when you're 3-0 up in the hope that you can get a goal to boost his confidence. You do it to preserve a 3-0 lead.
And who does Abalola come in for? Kyle Edwards?
Maybe.
Here's the throw. Prestis sticks his nose in there. Bicycle it out. It'll be a Hartford throw.
Well, Edwards is playing a little bit deeper, so I think Ngalena's one. I'm not sure who the other will be. It would make sense if it's Kyle Edwards.
You get a look at Prestis being marked in the box by the veteran Tommy McCabe.
You still need, sorry, Joe, you still need an out ball. You're 3-0 up, but you can't just say, right, we're 3-0 up. Let's just make sure we finish 3-0. You've still got to have an out ball if you're doing a little bit more defending. So you've got that to think of, and Obalola will certainly provide that.
Flourish, proud to be the official catering partner of Hartford Athletic. They provide healthy and delicious catering, meal prep, and takeout. Visit them online at flourishhartford.com or stop by their flyby location, 72 New Park Avenue in Hartford.
Good from Marlon again.
3-0, the Hartford lead. Brendan Burke talking about Marley this week, says he's great reading the game. We got a foul called right in front of the Hartford bench.
So here's the changes. Yep, Kyle Edwards is one. Is Mishi and Galena the other?
Edwards will get a huge round of applause.
No, it's Marlon Hairston. Okay, interesting. Edwards has been outstanding.
As has Hairston, as usual.
So it was going to be one of the forwards. Was it Edwards or was it Ngalina? There's your answer. It's Kyle Edwards. So Mishi stays on. You've still got that pace. Obalola one side, Mishi the other. Dieng through the middle. And Makangila, a straight swap for Marlon Hairston, who was outstanding today. But Edwards, my word, what a performance.
I really think the idea of keeping Ngalina in is to hope to unlock him, get a goal, get his confidence.
I get that. Yeah, I totally get that.
It's got to be it. I mean, that's got to be it because Edwards has 2 goals on the night.
Yeah. You take off someone who's got a chance for a hat-trick, but it's a team game. It's not a personal game. It's not, keep him on because he's potentially on a hat-trick.
Once again, Hartford in the second half, just what they did in the first half, just really controlling 50-50 balls. Now Samadia pushed off the ball. Nice defensive play by BB Karamoko, who goes down.
So the other thing,
referee's whistle will blow, and we're going to get a card here. Nope, it's stern talking to for Obalola, who kind of plays on the edge from time to time.
Yeah, he does, but just thinking more about the substitution, it's a straight swap.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have someone playing on the left-hand side that maybe doesn't want to if you take off Ngalina. It's a straight swap. Kyle Edwards wide on the right-hand side, replaced by Obalola wide on the right-hand side. Sometimes you look to complicate things when the simple answer's staring you in the face.
3-0, Hartford on top, looking to break the winless streak, get their second win of the year, both of them here at Trinity Health Stadium. This is a Loudoun team that was ranked number 1 in the USL power rankings this week.
You see this in all sports, no matter what it is. The team that's struggling, give everything.
Especially at home.
Yeah, but you also see teams that are going well think, they're struggling. They're not doing much. Everybody that goes there is winning. So it's not intentional complacency, but it's kind of subconscious complacency. Because you try and tell me that first half performance was common for Loudoun? It was not.
Abukura marked by Anderson on the far side. Scarlett gets a left boot on it. Kept in by Learman. They try to play it for Abukura on the left. He's been quiet. Marked by Anderson into the box. Nice back heel. Sent towards the front, and Prestis heads it out of play. Boy, TJ Prestis, the thing that's impressed me about him, Mark, is he makes the right play at the right time.
For a young lad. I mean, Ivy League's great if it's brains, but it's a totally different level to the step up that he's had. And he's taken to it like a duck to water.
And he puts his hands behind his back so there's no chance as Siaha elevates to pluck the corner kick out of the air. Westfield Bank, the regional community bank focused on its customers and their financial security, the communities that they serve, and the teams that we root for. Westfield Bank, what better banking is all about. Online at westfieldbank.com, member FDIC.
Richard Henry Blood Sr., also known as Ricky Steamboat, the Dragon, is now 72 years old. Wow.
He's my age. I'm not going to tell you, I think I look better than Ricky Steamboat.
Because he was doing a body splash from the top rope.
There's Karamoko. There's been people who've wanted to do that, trust me. It's not. That's not, I haven't heard those words, but I've gotten the expression. Loudoun desperately pressing for that first goal to try to get back into the game. They have been held off the score sheet twice this year, and they only have 2 clean sheets. Hartford scored 4 in the tie in the draw at Lou City. This is their second highest goal output of the season. Once again, a big key to Hartford's success tonight has been their ability to blunt Loudoun, the back line, trying to start up the offense. Hartford's done a great job. Now the press is backed off a little bit with the ball into Hartford territory. Here's McCabe. Plays it for Skundrich. Reverses. Sent back to Skundrich. Plays catch with Learman. Sent up ahead to Velo. It's the first time that they've linked 5 or 6 passes together.
Yeah, I mean, Hartford have dropped noticeably a good 10 yards deeper. Understandably so. Just keep those lines together. Narrow the lines so there's no space.
Ball dummy to Abukura. Up ahead on the left, and it's played out. It'll be a Hartford goal kick.
Just thinking about what you were speaking about nullifying the threats from Loudoun, and you're spot on. That's exactly what they've done. But they did that last week, and it's something you and I spoke to Brendan about. Cal Jennings had very few chances last week. He had 1 attempt to hit the post. Apart from that, they took him off.
Yeah.
because he was doing absolutely nothing. This is a better back three for me than last week for Hartford. This is the back three going forward, assuming everyone keeps their discipline. TJ Prestis, right centre back. Joe Farrell in the middle, and the captain, Jordan Scarlett, on the left. That is the rock to build upon. It's at the other end. And if Hartford can get the win today, I mean, the momentum they can get from the fact they've scored 3 goals already could be huge.
Tackle results in a foul.
For Loudoun, I think this is a one-off. I think this is a blip. I've seen enough highlights of their games this season.
Absolutely.
This is not what they're about. This is just one of those days where nothing worked. They were better than us in every facet of the field. Next up for them, Louisville. You know what? Would I be surprised if they won on Wednesday? No, not at all, because they're a really good side. They've just had an off night. We all have them.
Once again, pass taken away. Loudoun regains. Skundrich plays it in the middle. Here's a shot that's blocked, and Siaha takes it out of midair. Boy, Karamoko has really been the center attack man since coming in the game. As you watch him here, load up that left boot from about 23 yards out.
That was Hairston previously that would make that type of challenge. He's gone off, replaced by Makingila. Now it's Makingila making that challenge, and that's a clear free kick for Hartford.
Robbie Dambrot used the Hartford player. Was that Jane? He's been on the turf a lot tonight. Used Momo as a ladder, and he's taken a minute. Price Chopper, an official partner of Hartford Athletics. Soccer fans, save 15% with your Advantage Edge card off general admission tickets to all Hartford Athletic home games here at Trinity Health Stadium. Visit PriceChopper.com for more details on this amazing offer. Boy, you see guys in the NBA Finals don't get as high as Dambrot there. Of course, he had Jang to climb his back. So here's Anderson. Probably been Hartford's most consistent player this year.
Or Samadia. Yep.
Or Samadia,
That's
yeah,
fair.
Exactly. Loudoun trying to press the advantage. Here's Jimenez with a nice job to get back and clear it away from danger. But we've not mentioned Zach Ryan's name tonight. Abu Kor has been kept in check.
Zach Ryan, you're right. He had a chance earlier, but no, he's not been able to continue his form after scoring what turned out to be the winning goal last week against Detroit. When I thought, again, middle to front, they were outstanding. It was just feed the Egyptian and watch him do his magic, and
Here's
he did.
Ryan. Sorry, Mark, go ahead.
No?
Into the box, Velo plays it wide. Siaha with a diving stop to prevent the cross from reaching a white shirt.
I have to say, I see similarities between what Hartford did last season up to a point and the way they finished, and what we've seen so far this season from Hartford. And then you get a performance like this. It's like golf. For the average 20 handicapper, it's that good shot that keeps you going back for more. But then you get more consistent at what you're doing. And this is building on from their first half display last week, which was excellent, but they couldn't finish. This week it's been better than that, and they've scored 3 goals.
Let me just say, some 20 handicappers get more consistent at what
You're a, oh dear.
Oh, given away. Dangerous opportunity, a shot.
Brilliant
and
save.
It goes just wide.
Brilliant
Tipped
save.
away by Siaha.
Oh.
And there's the aforementioned Zach Ryan and a rare defensive lapse by TJ Prestis.
That's all it takes. One sloppy bit of play, and the pendulum swings totally the other way. Look at this save. How good is that? He's had
Prestis.
nothing to do. Prestis knows. Prestis knows. Fine, you make mistakes. It's how you cope with making mistakes. You don't do it again. You need your teammates to bail you out. That is brilliant from Siaha.
Corner, and there's Prestis to get ahead on it. Second head by Makingila. Jimenez trying to get the advantage. He slows it down, and Tingy has to come over for it for Loudoun. 3-0 Hartford as we play here in the 78th minute on an absolutely beautiful Friday night at Trinity Health Stadium. Scarlett goes to the pitch and knocks it off of Karamoko. Great hustle by Jordan Scarlett. We're going to get another sub into the match, and it's going to be recently signed Jeremy Gaudet.
You're right.
In for Tommy McCabe. They just signed Garay to a 25-day contract. The all-time leader in appearances, 93 USL appearances for Jeremy Gaudet, and Ryan Martin going with an experienced hand here, trying to change things around in the final 12 minutes plus. Anthony Siaha with 4 saves on the night, taken away. Jang across. A little bit too high. Nice slide tackle made by Tingy to start up field. And that's going to be a yellow card, I think. No. Let's wait and see. Yep. It's Beverly Macangila, booked for the second time this year. He takes the legs out of Karamoko.
It's a foul that stops the promising attack. It's a yellow card.
Of course, Macangila got ejected in the game at Loudoun in stoppage time. And he and Arturo Dizpe, who's not gotten off the bench tonight.
Loudoun's had 74% possession in the last 50 minutes. They've had 1 shot in that time, which was really well saved by Siaha.
Tingy had a goal against Hartford earlier this year. In fact, had a stoppage time goal to wrap up the 2-0 win. Now it's Obalola marking Abdulatif Abukora. Hartford looking for 3 points to get to 9 on the season. Jimenez commits the foul. So it'll be a restart.
Going to see Arturo Dizpe coming on. A little bit extra height, a little bit more strength at the back for Hartford, just to help defend some of these set plays. I don't think he'll be ready in time for this one, though.
The veteran who has been hurt, missed a game because of a red card. So here's a potentially dangerous restart. It'll be Abukora to trigger. Siaha feels it with no issues.
Space here.
Race for the ball up the near side. It'll be won by Jang. Mamadou's been so active tonight. The back heel, though, not affected. And Karamoko, who's really had an impact since he's come in the game. Ball knocked out of bounds. Scarlett stretches out. And we find out that Dizpe is going to come in for Michi and Galena as Hartford goes a little more defensive.
Yeah, just hold on a second here, because when Samadia is stretching for that one, I just wondered if he's not pulled something. But
well, that's Macangila.
No, that's Samadia. That's number 19.
Oh, it is Samadia, you're right.
Samadia. He just, when he stretched for that one. Yeah, they're just taking the time.
Now they're going to restart. Tingy threw it in before the official had signaled the restart of play.
Samadia's walking very gingerly, so this might be a change of...
Change of a change.
Yeah, it might be.
Here's Tingy.
I think you'll be all right.
1v1. Can't control. Stolen. Nice work by Engalena. They feed him. Here's Michi up the left side. Plays it off the Loudoun player. It'll be a throw-in for Hartford. Dayhill Dome, the place to play. Open to all ages and abilities. Rent their facility to run your own league or register for one of theirs. Either way, they welcome everyone to experience the best sports facility in the region. Visit dayhilldome.com to learn more. So it will be Dizpe for Engalena.
And Alex Nagy's come on.
And Alex Nagy, the 25-year-old from Bow, New Hampshire, coming into the match. So Zach Ryan's evening has come to an end. Had one dangerous shot.
Deespae's playing as a defensive midfielder alongside Beverly Makingila, so they're still sticking with their three. Michi Angelina gets a really good ovation as he makes his way back to the technical area. That's a really good night for Michi as far as progress is concerned. Next step, put the ball in the back of the net. But at least the chances are there now.
Hartford getting their 5th corner kick of the night. Nothing has come of anybody's corners thus far. Hartford maintains possession. Farrell drops it back. Samadia looking to enter. Uses the right boot, but it's intercepted. Loudoun will counterattack up the field. 3-0 Hartford as we play here in the 84th minute. Before what's an appreciative big crowd here at Trinity Health Stadium. Nice play by Deespae.
Good ball.
He clears it up ahead. Jang disrupted off the ball, and Loudoun will go back the other direction, looking to avoid their 3rd shutout of the season and their 4th loss. Played in the middle to Valo. Playing on the other side now is Karamoko. Or rather, that was Kwame Oahu, but it's cleared away by Hartford. And now, with 5 minutes and stoppage time to go, Hartford will probably be a little more defensive-minded.
Yeah, it's a 5-4-1. They've moved Obalola over to the left-hand side. It's Deespae and Makingila.
Good anticipation by Scarlett. Here's Jang. Lots of room to run. Mamadou with those long strides. Tries to cut it back. Plays it right. Jimenez blocked. Farouk came out of the goal. Jonathan Jimenez looking for his first USL goal.
What a good counter. But how good is this from Momo Dieng? Knows that he's got 2 centre-backs. Has them both occupied. That allows some space for Jonathan Jimenez to run into. And that's a good stop from goalkeeper Ugo Farouk.
The 18th shot of the night for Hartford. That ties their season high. Anderson's throw, played down by Farrell. Joust in that far corner. Hartford continues to maintain the pressure, steals possession. Into the box, nice move. In front, Prestis save. TJ Prestis almost lit the lamp for the second time. Samadia sends it in and it's cleared out. And Deespae heads it back to a retreating Siaha. Our Hartford Alliance Business Journal Business Alliance partner of the match, Capasso Enterprises. Now, if you're Brendan Burke, you show this on Monday and say, this is what we've got to do every time.
Monday? I'd have them in tomorrow, and I'd be showing them the 90 minutes. I'd have them in Sunday and be showing them the 90 minutes. I'd burn off a copy of DVDs, Betamaxes, VHSs, tell them to take it home, watch it. This is what Hartford can do. This is the bar being set.
Now, how many of these kids do you think have a VHS? You get on me for old school references? That's as old a reference as it gets.
Got some Ricky the Dragon Steamboat VHSs in the house.
I don't doubt. Another corner for Hartford. They almost converted the last time. Corners are 5 apiece.
No, in all seriousness, this has been what Brendan Burke has been wanting since he came in the door. Never mind since the start of the season. This has been absolutely outstanding. But this is 3 points.
Right. It's a start.
You've got to build on it.
It's got to be viewed as.
They built on this, not this performance, but a similar type of result last summer and went on a run. They have to do likewise. This is what they're capable of. The only way is up for Hartford, but they need to produce and keep working on the finishing. Keeper's off his line.
Here's a chance. Momo. Fancy dribbling. Goes right to Jimenez. Looking for Dieng. Can't get there. Samaria does. And he'll go in the corner and play the soccer version of four corners. Gets around the defense. Centers it. That's a pretty fancy kick by Jag. Boy, I'll tell you what, one of us did that. We wouldn't walk for a month.
Exactly. Look, there's been enough negativity here. You want to accentuate the positives. And there's plenty positives today to focus on. But it's one step. That's the bottom line. When everybody's fit and available, not suspended, not injured, this is what Hartford has. So this is the first 11. It's capable. There's no doubt about that. But let's not say this is the best thing since sliced bread. This is 3 points. This has been excellent. Now go and do it next week against Detroit. Then they go to Detroit back in league business in July. Go and do it there as well. Give me more of a sample size than just this in a first half display last week. And I don't want to sound like a party pooper. If I'm Brendan Burke, this is what I'm telling the players. Look, you've shown what you're capable of doing. Now go and do it every week. How quiet has one of the best players in the league been tonight? Abdel Abakura.
Almost invisible. And while he was in the game, the same with Zach Ryan. Here's Siaha, climbs over Farrell to clear it, and that shot goes over the Liberty Bank Suites in the south end zone.
I hope Brendan Burke allows himself a moment of contemplation tonight to enjoy this. And I hope the players do too. Whenever they're back in for training, maybe got a couple of days off, don't know, they've got a free midweek before they face Detroit next Saturday here. They deserve to enjoy this, but the hard work starts again the next time they come back to training. I've seen how much effort they put in at training.
We will have 5 minutes of Brignall Vineyard stoppage time before Hartford can celebrate win number 2. Push on Detroit. On the goal kick, Giannis Learman. So Dispe will leave it. And
Joe, I'm just pleased for everyone behind the scenes at
yes,
this football club.
I totally agree.
That works so hard. And how many times have we walked out of the commentary booth after a home defeat or a bad performance against North Carolina? And you feel for them as well, because they work morning through until night for this football club. And it's hard. So it's not just the players and Brendan and the coaching staff that should get to enjoy this. It's everyone that works for this football club. It's all the supporters as well.
Samaria, who's been terrific again tonight, called for the foul.
But I'm not worried if I'm a Loudoun fan, because I know...
No, it's a one-off.
Yeah, exactly. You have bad nights. It's just been one of those. The opposition, every man's been better in individual battles. There'll be a playoff side as long as they can keep Abakura both fit and at the football club.
Played to the far side. Sent towards the box. Velo. Taken away by Farrell. Loudon maintains. And there's Prestes to get it out of jail. Emmanuel Samaria is their defender of the match. I think that you could have given it to a number of people, but certainly the man they call Manny, pretty good job. Here he is now, streaking up the left side, sprinting up the left channel, distributes in the middle. Hartford up 3-0. Samaria sent flying. Tackle called on the newcomer, Jeremy Garay.
Joe, we're in the 92nd minute, and Samaria's just bombed forward down the left-hand side. He's just not stopped this evening.
He's got that non-stop motor. Brendan Burke said he was excellent against Charleston. He's been excellent again tonight.
He's a dual threat, defensively and going forward and delivering. Got the assists for the opening goal from Momo Dieng from his cross.
Here's Obalola, deflected, shot, cleared, loose. All right, Hartford, Hartford could have 6 or 7 goals.
Oh, easily.
The way this game has gone. They have been dominant on one of the better teams in USL Championship.
Yeah. Now we can look back and see that the third goal, that was it for Loudoun. They were done. They were cooked. Didn't have the impact the 3 subs at halftime I thought it might.
No, because Hartford maintained their pressure, didn't commit silly fouls. And
Discipline.
Exactly, stayed completely disciplined. Now Nagy, 1v2 along the ground, and that'll easily be cleared off by TJ Prestis.
You can only beat what's in front of you, but you can affect what is in front of you and what they do. And Hartford have done that. They have nullified the threat, and they've been a huge threat of their own tonight.
Siaha feels the header. Jordan Scarlett on the turf.
And another thing, Joe, I'm just pleased that we'll not be talking about a decision that came in the 25th minute when, for me, Momo Dieng was fouled by the goalkeeper and a corner was awarded and there was no touch by the goalkeeper. It should have been a penalty. And we're not talking about Mishi and Galina's encroachment in the area when Kyle Edwards scored the first of his penalties and it had to be retaken correctly. That was a good spot by the officials. And we're not talking about the officials. We're talking about Hartford winning at home for only the second time, but winning at home in style.
Siaha looked like he had a cramp. Joe Farrell was working on the right leg.
He's a goalkeeper. They don't get cramp.
He's a big lad. At least 6'6".
Yes. Got to run around to get cramp, have you not?
I wouldn't know.
No, likewise.
Hartford will go to 2-7-2 on the season and will move past Tampa Bay into 11th place on the table. Loudoun will drop to 8-4-1.
Team's already picked itself for next week at home to Detroit. And it's exactly the same team that started tonight.
Oahu trying to make something as this crowd anticipates the final whistle. Sent in, headed up in the air. Siaha plays it, falls to the pitch.
That'll do.
And we should be very close to game, set, match. And there it is. We've reached full time. And Hartford Athletic, with their best performance of the year by far, maybe the best in a couple of years, shut out Loudoun 3-0 for their second win of the season.
A standing ovation from an outstanding crowd. A huge crowd in attendance for this place. And they wanted a performance. They wanted a result, and they've got both.
Players shaking hands. Out on the pitch is Brass Bonanza. Players over the loudspeakers. You would expect to see the Hartford players go in front of the supporters and thank them for the aforementioned support. Full time. Hartford a winner. It's 3-0. Hartford beats Loudoun. Mark and I will be back to wrap it up next here on ESPN Plus, MyTV9, and WTNH.com. Well, while we were in commercial break, the Hartford players, as a group, locked arms, ran towards the supporters in the east stands and jumped in the air, and that got as big a reaction as anything tonight.
A couple of weeks ago, a corner got the biggest cheer of the night against North Carolina. Last week, one attempt of note. That was TJ Prestis. This week, where do you want to start? The bar has been raised. The bar has been set. Hartford get all 3 points with, for me, their best performance under Brendan Burke.
You take a look at the final stats. A season-high 19 shots for Hartford. A season-high 9 shots on target. It was all Hartford. It was as dominant performance as we've seen from Hartford Athletic. Fans, join us for our next home match next Saturday against Detroit City in the Jägermeister Cup at 7:30 as we celebrate Junior Fire Marshal Night presented by the Hartford and Dylan's birthday. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at hartfordathletic.com. Our match tonight brought to you in part by Central Connecticut State University. Apply today at ccsu.edu. It was Hartford from start to finish tonight. 16th minute, it was Momo Jang putting the ball in the back of the net. Then they withstood some adversity. Kyle Edwards on a PK in the 43rd minute. Edwards with the brace in the 56th minute. Everybody who played for Hartford tonight, Mark, played a role.
Not one failure. Absolutely outstanding from start to finish. Now, we know what they're capable of. If they can do that on a more regular basis, then who knows what can happen. That was as good as it's been for Hartford for quite some time. And it was 3. It could have been a lot more.
Third clean sheet of the season for Anthony Siaha. So Hartford will look ahead to the Jägermeister Cup game next Saturday night. Our thanks to our producer, Bobby Kaplan, our director, Tom Stanworks. For Mark Donaldson, I'm Jody Ambrosio. Our final score tonight in full time, Hartford Athletic 3, Loudoun no score. Good night, everyone.